I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today. Hello, welcome to POSTGAME. Iowa State with a really nice bounce back win tonight over UCF, 108-83 was the final. Talk about it all coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Thank our friends at Channel C for providing our pre- and post-game coverage for Iowa State men's and women's basketball all season long. Also, Keen Project Solutions. Shout out to my friends at Keen Project Solutions and the Natusa family at Raymond James for them for your financial planning coming up in 2025. 108-83 the final. And, okay, so here's the deal. Really great offensive game tonight by Iowa State. I'm guessing TJ Outsberger not going to love the defense, just judging by his body language, is that second half went along. This is why I love odds. It's like they're up 20, and he's all up in their ass to defend harder. That's my kind of coach. It's my kind of guy. That's why I love him. We'll get down to all the great individual performances. The audio should get better, fellas, when this band stops playing behind me. There we go. We should be better now. Thank you. The Iowa State, okay, so offensively, we'll start with all the good that comes with that, and it certainly helps in any scenario when, you know, Demarion Watson pops off and hits a three, and Joshua Jefferson goes 3 for 4 from three, right? Like, that's a great start, guys that you don't necessarily count on, and it makes any offense flow better. We talked about that West Virginia game. What was the issue with the offense? It was floor spacing. Well, all of a sudden you got some big guys, some forwards that can go out and hit a shot like that, and it spaces everything out. I don't know what the hell Central Florida was doing defensively tonight. Really didn't understand the defensive game plan for what they were at least trying to do. Whatever, Iowa State took advantage, and we'll talk about how they did that. Specifically, you know, the first thing I want to say with Iowa State is they started taking care of the basketball. This was a game, you know, 10 minutes into it. And I think Iowa State had like 8 turnovers, I want to say, in the first 12 minutes of the basketball game. And they only had 2 the rest of the way. So that's where it all starts for me as far as the offense. They started valuing the basketball, valuing possessions. Joshua Jefferson, I mean, he was awesome. But I also say, like, was that like the quietest 30-point performance that we've seen? Just kind of starting to expect that from JJ. He also had 7 points and 5 assists to go with it. I mean, he's really putting together like this amazing season that probably doesn't get talked about enough because of Iowa State's guards. But he was incredible, and again, it did seem fairly quiet in the way that he did it. I thought, you know, a big key coming into this one for me is I wanted to see Keyshawn Gilbert get going. It felt like, minus Momcilovic, you're going to need to pick up offense from somewhere. Where was the easiest place for that to come by? So some people may go, oh, you need Nate Heisey to hit a shot. You need all these other guys. But, you know, when Iowa State's offense has sputtered a little bit, it felt like Keyshawn he certainly hasn't been bad the last couple of weeks, but he hasn't been playing at that top-end level. And tonight, I thought we got that A game from Keyshawn Gilbert. No, I didn't think we did. 21 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds for number 10 out there. So that, again, that was like the guy we were talking about earlier in the year, looking for, conference player of the year, potentially national player of the year caliber. We got that Keyshawn Gilbert tonight, and Iowa State needs to keep that going, minus Momcilovic, as you're looking to spread the floor a little bit. Curtis Jones was Curtis Jones, 19 tonight. He was great. And I know you fans want to talk about Demarion Watson. He's one of the most popular players on the team, and he stepped up for his team in another big way tonight. He comes off and hits that three from the right wing, and it really got the lid off the basket. Rob Gray told me Iowa State had missed its last 23s dating back to the West Virginia game at that point, which was, a wild statistic to think that this team could miss that many in a row, but they had. And Demarion Watson hit that three, and I want to say they get a stop and come right back down, and it was Keyshawn Gilbert who followed it up with a three. So really it was Demarion who got that whole thing started. A bunch of hustle plays. He had a big dunk. 5 rebounds in 11 minutes for Demarion Watson. A lot of people, why didn't he play more than 11 minutes? Well, he had 3 fouls, right? So probably would have, but he had 3 fouls. The other side to this game, and it's always hard to tell with just specifically the 3-point shot, because Ivy Curry for Central Florida tonight goes 6 of 9 from 3. What? 6 of 9 from 3. Okay. I'm going to venture to say Iowa State was pretty poor defensively tonight, and you still win by 20 or whatever the hell it was. So that's a good thing. 25. But you still gave up 83 on your home floor. Now, that it kind of dictated by the type of game that it turned into. I am going specifically off of, this is why I like to sit down here. A lot of the media sits up on the kind of the sidelines there because you can see the game better. Well, I'm going to watch the game back, and I have the game going on my computer. I like to see, body language. Some of you guys are in the comments. There's a ton of possessions tonight, so I want to see how the analytics all break out after this one, and you're exactly right, because it was a fast-paced game, quick shots, all that stuff. Head coach didn't seem pleased with the defense. So, and I know for a fact the UCF, I don't know what they were doing. It's been a long time since I read a game worse than I had this one pregame. I thought Iowa State would win. I thought they'd probably win by double digits. I thought this would be a rip your teeth out type of game. And it certainly wasn't. I texted a buddy of mine at halftime. I said I couldn't have read the game worse. I have no idea what to expect on a game-to-game paper or a game-to-game basis. Yeah, everybody asking me about Lipsy in the comments. He's fine. They want. You have to understand they don't want these guys all playing 35, 36 minutes per game. Now, there's some nights you're going to have to. I'm surprised that Gilbert played 37 tonight. But I think, too, you've been wanting to get that guy going. He's got everything flowing. Don't take him out. Let him play through it and pick up that confidence that you're going to need on a 2-game road, when you go to Arizona for the next 2 games. But, yeah, listen, and I'm not panicked about the defense thing. It's like you get into these games, right? You see it in football all the time, too. It's like sometimes you go with the momentum, and that's just what happens. And that was certainly the case tonight, You still forced 19 turnovers. Now, you didn't get the live ball turnovers. Actually, you did. Never mind. I was reading that wrong. 25 points off turnovers. That's a good stat. I was looking at the UCF stat line there. So that flipped, too, because that wasn't the case early in the first half. Iowa State totally flipped that in the second half. So, that's an encouraging thing, and it makes me not panicked about it. I know it's a good defensive team. But a little staggering to see you give up 83 on your home floor. But, again, the game dictated that. And really not I don't know how you could be much happier with how Iowa State responds to its first Big 12 loss, right? You come home and, you're a 16, 17-point favorite, and you absolutely stepped on this team's throat. UCF never, other than the first 10 minutes, it never felt like they were in this game. I think they maybe led for 2 minutes total out of 40. Actually, I'm incorrect. 1 minute and 3 seconds. So really early there. And that was it. You completely dominate, and, you flexed on a team that you should be doing that to, which is what really great teams do, right? Like I'm not different than you guys. You guys have all been watching Iowa State basketball for a really long time. There's a difference between the good teams that we see here and the great teams. And even some of the really good teams would, struggle to put away like an average Big 12 team. I think that Central Florida they're weird. Maybe the weirdest team. I think Central Florida and Texas Tech are the two weirdest teams in the league this year. Central Florida should have beaten Houston last Saturday. But then they lose to Kansas by 50. They come here and get blown out by 30. And then they go and win at Texas Tech. And what about Texas Tech? They're 4-0 away from home now. They win at Cincinnati tonight, 1-2 at home, and they have a good home court advantage. So just weird league. You expect it, but this is a dominating win. And the thing I like the most about it is the guys who you needed to get going. It would have been fine if, and Kurt had a great night. He had 19. He's 8 of 19 from the floor, 8 rebounds. So he nearly had a double-double. It's not like Curtis Jones was bad. I wanted to see somebody else come out and grab it, right? Just that, I don't like relying on one dude, and that's what the difference between a good team and a great team is when you're one, right? So, Gilbert hasn't been great. You had Kurt there to pick him up. I love the fact that Lipsy's only shooting 7 times a game right now. You don't need him to go out there and be that guy for you. And if Joshua Jefferson is that dude, 9 of those 30 came from the free throw line. A lot of fouls called in this one. But if he's that dude, that changes everything. And that it's a post play that is separating this Iowa State team from, last year's. Those guys were fine. They worked hard. They played their asses off on defense. They ain't like that. They didn't have a guy that could do that. Joshua Jefferson, I need to ask Bloom tomorrow, but, that guy could find himself on an NBA bench the way he's playing right now, especially if he can keep hitting threes. So it's good to see Heisey finally knock down a shot because he can make them, but he hasn't in the Big 12. So this was good. This makes me feel better. I said that after the West Virginia game. I said to you guys, do not judge this game. Judge how they bounce back from it. And strictly off of that, this was a very successful evening for your third-ranked Iowa State Cyclones. We are presented, as always, by our friends at Channel Seed. Excuse me. Women play tomorrow. Bloom and I are recording early afternoon tomorrow for our Wednesday podcast. So we appreciate all you guys listening to that. Again, that's coming up tomorrow. And I will be heading to the Land of the Sun. I think that's what they call Arizona. Is it the Land of the Sun? I'm going to go down there for both of those games this weekend to enjoy that. I know there's going to be I am hearing rumors. I'm hearing things that the Arizona State game is going to be 50-50 Iowa State fans. You might hear a Cyclone Power chant. These people are nuts. Land of the Sun. Aiden says it's the Valley of the Sun. Yeah, whatever. It's the Valley. I'm going to go exploring on Sunday. I'm going to go and find where Geronimo used to roam. Looking forward to that. I'm potentially going to sleep in a teepee on Sunday night. We'll keep you guys updated. I might do Williams and Bloom from a teepee with Wi-Fi. Thinking about it. You can actually rent these teepees that have like big screen TVs in them and Wi-Fi out in the middle of the desert. And I'm thinking I might do it. You only live once. You really do. I mean, we're out here in I'm going to walk back to my truck in this desolate parking lot. It's 45 below. Horrible. The coldest place on earth is the Hilton Coliseum parking lot in January. And if I have a chance to do the program from a TP with Wi-Fi and a big screen TV, who could fault me? Appreciate you guys. I love our commenters. Iowa State rolls 108 to 83. Bloom and I will break it all down for you tomorrow. Appreciate Keen Project Solutions, Clay and Chase Natuzel. They are your financial advisors. They're probably, I could see the Natuzels flying out to Arizona just to get all cloned up over the weekend. Appreciate you guys. Talk soon. Enjoy another Cyclone victory, and we'll be back with Williams and Bloom tomorrow. Later.